So on this battle here in Abbey, I've jumped into my Conqueror. I haven't had this tank for quite a while. As soon as I got the FV215B, I solved this. But I decided to bite back and give it a whirl. I decided to go over to the heavy tank lane here on the 1 line, which seemed to be a good idea at the time, but as you look at the map you can see that none of our allies have come with us here, apart from one T10. And this guy is going to be absolutely fantastic through this battle. I mean, he absolute trooper. He wasn't overly keen on coming around this side because it was just me and him, but based on the estimated deployment of the enemy tanks, we can assume that they can send at least a couple things down this road, and I really don't want to give them free rein in our base, as the position of artillery isn't amazing and there's quite a lot of tank destroyers in the side there. So I decided to just set up behind this destroyed tank here as cover to spot down the end of the road here. T10 saying that he doesn't want to go down here and he thinks I should pull back, and I state that I have to hold this point. And we saw the Skoda T50 up here, so I'm going to try and set up in this kind of like a little hill here and use that as cover for my hull and try and get shots on him. Unfortunately he's unspotted and he's not where I thought he'd be, and this T10 runs around the corner. I track him with my first shot. I'm going to try and keep him pinned there so I can just pump shots into him. I've got very high rate of fire on this gun. Second one just misses his tracks but does go into his hull and does do damage, which is good. He's left on just above half health and he's thinking about it, and I managed to slide one right into his cupola there, and then the Skoda T50 decides to join him. I'm requesting help from this T10 because I don't want to face these two guys by themselves, but they are adamant to sit there and let me shoot at them. I noticed the E75 as he puts a shot into me, although he doesn't seem to be using the top 128 gun because he didn't do very much damage. So I pull back into this little dip here, and the T10 has actually come to help me, which is fabulous. Now, the Jagdtiger comes around the corner as well. So we've got 4 enemy tanks here, as well as the T49. So there's 5 enemy tanks that we're facing by ourselves. This Jagdtiger is probably the biggest threat at the moment because he can penetrate my turret from the front, whereas the other tanks can struggle. So I managed to track him, put a shot into him. I'm taking fire from all sorts of directions. The C75 did know what he was doing, as he was able to keep pumping shots into my turret. Unfortunately, the Jagdtiger does shoot the T49 here as he tries to cross, and we were able to take him out before he got any flanking fire into him. But we're still facing against quite a few enemy tanks. I get one viewport taken out by the E75, which is very lucky. He didn't do very much damage, and we managed to kill the Jagdtiger in quick succession. The E75 is going to be a very big issue. We managed to sneak a shot in there into the T10. I don't think he thought we could shoot him there. I'm trying to pull back from the Skoda. I don't want him to get shots into me. Looking for the shot on the commander's cupola there, but sneak one into the T50. Thankfully the T10 manages to take him out, and we've gone from a 5-on-2 to a 2-on-2, which is quite nice. That E75 is still on quite a lot of health, and this T10 on the friendly T10 is on quite little health. Unfortunately I missed the shot there. I don't know where that went. Bounced off of his front turret. He comes around the corner again, and the T10 manages to kill him. So I want to try and poke a shot into the C75, but I don't quite manage it. So I'm going to push up now. I'm going to use the Skoda T50 as cover. T10 also bounces his shot, and the E75 doesn't look overly keen on poking around. I do manage to get a shot into his commander's cupola, which is brilliant, and T10 bounces again. Now I want to push this guy. I've got quite a lot of health to play with here. Unfortunately that shot takes up my ammo rack, but I can easily get that back up again. We're going to put a shot into his tracks. Doesn't do much, doesn't do any damage at all, but it's going to allow the T10 to come up behind me as well without the C75 threatening him. I'm going to go for the cupola again, and I managed to put a shot in. Artillery does smack me, but it leaves me on enough health that I can just about take a shot from the C75 and still live, as he's not using the top gun, and T10 blanks him to take him out. At this point I'm thinking, brilliant, right, artillery safe behind this mountain, and I thought that was all the tanks that we were going to have to deal with, and the rest of them were in the mid or on the other flank, as we haven't seen anything else. And unfortunately, as I come around the corner here, I get taken out by the Waffenträger Panzer IV. Very sneaky by him. I'm not entirely sure why he didn't come to help his teammates, but that's the battle for us, I suppose. The T10 did eventually get taken out by the Panzer IV as well, as it came around the corner, and the rest of our team managed to clean up quite nicely. Came out of that battle with a victory. I made 79,000 credits, 3,700 XP, I did 5,656 damage, and I blocked 4,880 damage, which is probably all from that T10 and that Skoda T50, and maybe a couple from the Jagdtiger. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and do rate and give me feedback, and I'll see if I can do some more.